Modern Mystic Messages. I'm Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. And happy full moon, happy blood moon eclipse to you. I'm going to give just a few minutes here for some folks to come into the live stream, and then we're going to lock and load and hopefully have a good time. It's so interesting. Yesterday on my other channel, I was doing some tarot readings, and I didn't even realize a card had dropped off the table. Not jumped, it just fell off the table when I was looking, and I missed it. And when I came in this evening to get ready to do this and looked at the table, the card that it was Wheel of Fortune. Very appropriate for the full moon. So I'm loving that. Talking about destiny, karma, cycles, all of those good things. Now, I'm not pulling tarot here this evening, but I just thought that was very appropriate and kind of interesting that it came up here. And good evening to whoever just came in. Welcome. Happy full moon to you is also. Hey, Antoine, welcome. Hey, George, how are you? Welcome. Why does the number 7 keep appearing in your life? George, do yourself a favor and go look up angel number 7 meaning. 7 is a very auspicious number. Today is a 7 day. It is 9/7 of 2025, which numerologically, if you add all those together, it breaks down to a 7. And it is the 7th of the month, and it is a full moon. So you are here right on time, brother. Hey, Paul Snowcloud. Oh, you know what? Let me make this subscriber only. I keep forgetting myself because these folks get a little crazy. We ain't having it today. We're not having it. Today is a beautiful, beautiful day. All haters be gone with you. All proselytizers be gone with you too. Hey, Abia, we're going to look up Isaiah 13:11. But if you're over here pointing fingers and finger wagging, you can go on about your business. You know, Steve, I would love to learn how to speak Ebonics as well. I have no idea. So, yeah, if you come in here with racist hate, I promise you my moderators will remove you. I have not told them to, but they have even a less patience for that kind of ignorance than I do. I say leave them alone because anybody that says things that ignorant are brain damaged children, but they don't like it. Hey, Brittany, how are you? And let's see what Abiyah talking about. I got a feeling he's gonna be on his way out of here too. Ezekiel 13:11 is what the Bible thumper count came in here wanting to quote for me. Let's read it, shall we? Say to those who smear it with whitewash that it shall fall. There shall be a deluge of rain, and you, oh great hailstones, will fall, and a stormy wind break out. Yeah. And when the wall falls, it will not be said to you, where is the coating with which you smeared it? Therefore, thus says the Lord God, I will make a stormy wind break out in my wrath. There shall be a deluge of rain in my anger, and great hailstones in wrath to make a full end. And guess what, good Bible thumping Christian? That scripture applies to you, and you don't even have sense enough to know it yet. But thank you so much for the reminder. Appreciate you. You said, not tonight, Satan. I know that's right. We're going to have a good time up in here. This is going to be a short one, y'all. I wish I could say I was as prepared as I'd like to be. My hair is still wet from the bath. But we're going to shut this down probably around 10:30 so that I can go in, check my email, and then anyone who still wants to be included in tonight's group meditation and intention, if you email me, in fact, if you want to and you have not already emailed me, if you already emailed me, it's cool. If you want to be included in tonight's group session after this live stream, please take a moment, leave the live stream if you need to, email me at modernmysticmessages@gmail.com. Please include up to 3 kind of bullet point items of what you're wanting to release under the full moon energies and the eclipse energies, and up to 3 things that you're wanting to manifest during this full moon and eclipse energies. We're going to be doing a group meditation and a burn ceremony, burning some ancestor money and all those good things after this live stream. So if you want in on that, email me and you can be included. Hey, Miss Yates, welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? And Miss Lily, how are you? Welcome in. I'm gonna go ahead on and make this subscriber only though, because I already know what's gonna happen if we don't. And I'm not, like you said, we're not entertaining that nonsense on this full moon. We're gonna keep the energy high, and only folks that are really, really wanting to better their lives are welcome here. I'll start out with 1 minute and we'll see if that helps. If it gets too crazy, I'll make it 5 or 10 minutes. But I'd love for people to be able to come in here and talk. But before we even got any subject out of our mouths today, somebody came in here with racial hatred, and we just can't have that, y'all. Especially not today. They don't even understand how powerful our words are, and in the energy of a full moon, and especially an eclipse is like an exponential magnifier. How am I? I'm doing very well. How are you? How are you, Shaigan? Welcome in. I hope everyone joins too. And I'm sorry I missed you earlier, Shaigan. Welcome to you. I hope they do too. It's love and light over here. And Spirit told you not to worry, good, Antoine, because I do understand what it's like when you're up against it and everything is at your back. Like I said, a lot of us are in that same boat right now. And sometimes we do get down, but yeah, don't worry. I can feel it. You should have. Oh man, if you have been, hey, story time. What's up? What's up? I'm glad you were able to make it, my dear. Oh yeah, full moons, period, make people a little nuts. In hospitals, people go crazy. Babies coming early. People that work in the emergency rooms in hospitals be losing their minds because of all the nonsense that happens on full moons, and eclipses make it amplify it even more. So yeah. I'm glad you're here too, my dear. And I was telling them earlier, if you want to be included in that group meditation, even if you can't join the meditation, if you want your intentions added to the ritual that we're doing, take a minute if you don't mind. You can leave the live for just a few. Email me and give me up to 3 things that you want to release with the full moon, and up to 3 things that you like to manifest. This live stream will end at about 10:30 tonight to give me a chance to check my email, get everybody's little burn slips together. I'm going to go out on the back porch and do a burn ceremony there. And then the folks that choose to join the WhatsApp group, WhatsApp, I found out, is audio only. So I'm not sure if y'all really, really want video. I can get you a link in Google Meet. I went ahead and downloaded that so we can meet in Google Meet if you would prefer the video. Otherwise, I'll video the burn ceremony because it's just going to be a few minutes, a quick prayer, and then burning the money. But I'll record it and leave that link in, drop it in the WhatsApp group. But other than that, I included today. That's one of the things that took me so long to get together. I made a playlist, and for anybody, even if you're not wanting to join the meditation, there is a public playlist on the channel that I just put in today. It's called Full Moon. Their first 4 or 5 videos on that list are little short reels showing you some full moon little rituals you can do, like things that include in your spiritual bath, how to do a burn ceremony, an individual burn ceremony. Because everybody that's putting your intentions in, I encourage you. Yes, we're going to do it as a group intention, but also write out your intentions. Put your what you're releasing on a separate little slip of paper, and what you're bringing in on a separate piece of paper. And like I said, that list will show you kind of how to do it. If you have questions, make sure, of course, if you're gonna burn it, make sure you're burning it safely. Like be able to drop it into a burn bowl or a pot or something where the ashes aren't going to catch anything on fire. And when it's reduced all the way down to ashes, the thing that you're releasing, you can blow it out to the universe. The things that you're bringing in, one of the things that you can do, you can either burn it right away, or what I'll be doing is taking those intentions for what we're bringing in and placing them underneath a jar that I'll be putting outside to make moon water with. And over the next 3 days, it will, well, the moon water will, I'm gonna put it in the fridge because I'll be washing my hands with it in the following morning, but I will also be drinking it over the next few days. But in 3 days time, the things that we're releasing while we're still in the full moon energies, then I will burn them into our ancestor bowl. Hey, Robin Williams. Hey, Weston. How are you? Yeah, it will be interesting story time. Usually I do stuff like that by myself. I just decided to open it up. I'm cool with the audio too. Like I said, I don't my back porch light ain't even working, and I know that's a sad shame. We couldn't Neither me nor my roommate are particularly mechanically inclined, and something is with the thing I couldn't get the cover off to change that light. So rather than run the risk of breaking the globe or messing with the outlet, I don't mind sitting in the dark anyway. The light just draws the mosquitoes, so I don't have a light back there. There's not going to be a whole lot to see anyway. Yeah, honestly, the main part of um, the idea with the group is for us to be able to be doing the meditations and stuff in close. Like I said, we're all in our separate locations, but if we start around the same time, and I may even push the start back so that I can do the burn ceremony first off camera, and you can do the bay leaf ceremony off camera, Brittany, and then we can meet up at a certain time, and I'll upload the video or whatever of that, and then we can go into that playlist and do the first one of those guided meditations at the same time. It's a guided meditation, but there's always a period of just instrumental music, so you can put your own intentions and all in it. But everybody meditating at the same time, I think, would be cool. Um, I was thinking about starting around 11, but if I got to do the burn ceremony first, maybe 11:15, 11:30. Is that okay? Story time. Let me back up so I don't miss anybody's stuff in the mix. Hold on. Story. You will if you'll email me, or I'll let me write down. I think I still have your email, so I'll just email you a link for it. I may have already sent you the link. Check your email. Um, I sent you an email earlier, so I probably included a link to the WhatsApp group in there and a link to the playlist so that you can just go into your email. I know I sent Antoine a link, Valerie, Brittany, Cece, um, Alicia. I think Felicia I also sent to Vicky. I think I sent Vicky one, but I can't know for sure. So yeah, email me if you have not received an email from me with the link for the um, playlist and the WhatsApp group. Email me at modernmysticmessages@gmail.com. When we get off the live stream, I'll check my email, make sure I've got everybody's intentions written down for burning, and then I'll go outside and do that, and then we will meet up. We'll see how it goes. If I get off of here at 10:30, we should. You think 11:11 would be enough time for us to get rolling? Is that okay with you, Brittany? Will that give you enough time to get the bay leaves done? Hey, Weston. My thoughts on Halloween. I don't mess with it at all. I really don't, because even though it does go back to the witches and all that, all of the holidays that kind of ran through the church have a bit of, and I mean, the idea of pagan necessarily doesn't bother me anymore, but it's been so adulterated by the church that there's a demonic element in it that goes back to some form of Satanism or Luciferianism that I just don't want no parts of, to be honest with you. Um, and the bay leaf ceremony, with, like I was just describing, writing down intentions on paper and burning them and releasing them. Bay leaves have been used for a long time for manifestation rituals and stuff, and she's going to take your intentions and write them on a bay leaf, basically boil it down. If you gave me, a whole paragraph, we'll boil it down to a couple of keyword points and put those on a bay leaf and then burn those as well. Hey, J Dale, how are you? Welcome in. I'm gonna jot down your name so I'll double check. Let me see. Story time. Oh, welcome in, CC. I'm gonna have to go through yours and make some bullet points because you sent your entire petition, which is fine. In fact, if you want us to, I can read your petition during the ceremony, but I just really, yeah. But Brittany was saying you can write whatever you want to manifest. It's more so about what you're manifesting with the bay leaf than what you're releasing. So what you're bringing in, you'll put it in there. So in her case, like I said, she wants to manifest 143 million, so that's what she's gonna write on it and then burn it. I like that. That's a cool manifestation. Yeah. Thank you for those intentions and blessings, Antoine. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, whatever you want to bring in, you can put in there. It's okay. If you think of something while, like I said, you got an hour and a half to get them in there, email me. Basically, it doesn't have to be anything formal or fancy, because a petition, if you're actually writing to the universe, is like a letter to the universe or God or however that resonates with you. For a full petition, for a burn ritual, you're literally just putting down, like, for me, for example, I want to, if I want to get rid of, release unworthiness, procrastination, self doubt, that kind of stuff. So I would write those down on a piece of paper. And then for the things that you are bringing in, well, the things that you're taking out of your life, you fold that paper away from you, and you fold it up away from you, and then you turn it counterclockwise and fold it 3 times and then burn it in the burn bowl. For the things that you're bringing into you, you can fold that towards you and you turn that clockwise so it's coming in. Or there's a lot of different ways, and like I said, on the playlist that I sent some at the top of it. There's like 5 or 6 little short reels for things that you can do at home, and I think that method is included in it as well. You said 11 is good for you, or 11:30, whichever. Okay. Yeah, I remember you told me that you manifested 40K within 2 weeks with them bay leaves. Yes, indeed. And listen, people have to understand, just because you don't instantly get everything on your manifestation list, don't count it a failure and don't give up. We are in eclipse season. We're riding out the rest of the year in some crazy high energies. We're going to have 2 eclipses this month. We got a full moon one today that happened, and then there's going to be a partial eclipse on the 22nd, I think. And then on the 25th, that comet is going to be its closest range to the closest to the sun. Is it's going to be in its orbit. We skipped all the way over the 999 portal is happening on Tuesday. Like there's a lot of good energy that's happening right now. So don't give up. You like the interaction? Yeah. And honestly, that's what I want this channel to be about. Now, I know eventually it'll grow to the point that we may not be able to keep it quite that interactive. But right now, while it's, like I said, small and slow, because it's a soul tribe. Yeah, I need to get the numbers up for the YouTube sake, for the algorithm and all of that. But I want this to keep that feeling of soul family because that's what I set the intention for. Awesome. Yeah, the chat is covered in Buddha power. I love that. Thank you. Oh, Lunar Beats, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. Oh, you're in Tennessee now? Awesome. If you want in on this thing too, like I said, email me at Modern Mystic Messages and put what you're releasing and what you're drawing in your email, and I'll definitely include you. And I'll get you that link. Well, the playlist is public, so you can go right on the channel and get the playlist if you want. But I'll email you the link to the WhatsApp group if you choose to join us for the group meditation tonight. We're going to be doing the meditation. That's the first. There's two guided meditations, and I think they're somewhere down around probably 7, 8, 9, or whatever. Like I said, there's a bunch of short reels in the top part, like 6 or 7 short reels that are talking about manifestation. Then there's two guided meditations. I think one is from Reiki Rachel, and I forgot who the other one was from that I put, but I think I put the Reiki Rachel one first. That's the one we're going to do together as a group. Now there's a bunch of videos in that list. I put things that you could continue. There's some information about the full moon and other things about manifesting. There's a couple of um, videos from astrologers talking about the energy of the full moon in there. There's also a few readings. I started watching the one from White Feather Tarot, and oh my goodness, it resonated so hard. I ain't had no choice but to include it because I know a lot of y'all are kind of, we all in the same boat with the same, like we in the river, same river, in the same boat, so to speak. So I definitely wanted to include that. And there were a couple other readings too. I think Moon Magic Tarot. She was actually a licensed therapist for like over 20 years, and she's doing tarot now. I love her readings. They're very gentle, and she does like a lot of soul work and addresses shadow issues and things like that. So she did a full moon eclipse reading, and after we finished the group reading, I will come in here and I'll do a reading while I'm still in the flow of our meditations and all that good stuff. While I'm still in that energy, I'm going to sit down and do a couple of readings for our collective as well. And I'll be adding those to the to the full moon playlist. They'll be housed over on Anunnaki Oracle Priestess, but I will include them in the full moon playlist as well. Bro 100, I think that's what they're. Again, I'm not real read up on it. Somebody called it to my attention, but it occurred to me with that happening in the midst of this, because somebody had mentioned last month that there was something out there and we didn't quite know what it was and all this other good stuff. And then they were mentioning that it was a comet that was coming close. But there's a reason for all of these planetary processions at this time and all of these events that are occurring. So I believe in leaning into it. Yeah, I anticipate the energy continuing to ramp up through the end of the year. And like I say, if you rock out over here, we'll have plenty of opportunities to do more manifesting, more group meditations, those type things. I'm also, even though I'm no longer doing tarot over here, I'm considering jumping in and doing a couple of, maybe pull a couple of cards from Christ Consciousness deck and Metatron in cooperation with like some distance Reiki sessions for the group. I got tingles when I said that, so I think that's something that some folks might need or want over here. So yeah, we can definitely do that. You said is this true? Things for you have been very difficult. The things are very difficult for a lot of the chosen, honey. I'm sorry to tell you, they just are. They've been difficult for a lot of us. Hey, Sandra Easton, I didn't even see you. You slid on in under the radar, darling. Hey, African Shepherd, how are you? Welcome. Oh, Dr. Strange Doom, ain't seen you in a minute, love. Welcome. Mm. Well, I don't know what to tell you about that as far as being a targeted individual. And I'm not saying that that's not happening, but I would recommend you do some energy work around you to put a wall of protection around you, because you can, and stop claiming that you're a targeted individual. That's the first thing. You may be, but don't even let them see you sweat. You do what you need to do to get that up off of you. For those that are just coming in, this is going to be a short session tonight. If you're interested, we're going to do a group manifestation full moon ritual after this off of YouTube. If you're interested in joining that, then email me at modernmysticmessages@gmail.com and I'll send you the link to the WhatsApp group. And there is a playlist um, called Full Moon that I just uploaded today that has like some full moon ritual things, short reels showing you some short little full moon rituals you can do in cooperation with what we're doing with the group meditation. The guided meditation that we'll be using for that group meet, that meditation is in that playlist, as well as some readings for the full moon and some information and astrology information from the full moon. And at the bottom of that list, there's also some meditation music for the full moon and the eclipse season. Yeah, like I said, I got busy with stuff, Brittany, but so far, like her White Feathers reading was awesome. That's one of the reasons I wanted to include it. It's Robin. It's a little bit cooler, but it won't be uncomfortable. I'll be fine. I don't have to put on a jacket or anything. I'm glad it's a little bit cool because I have not been going outside as much as I'd like to because of mosquitoes. So it's just cool enough to kind of keep the mosquitoes at bay. You said your hand vibrated when I said Reiki. Yeah, I got a little chill too, so I know I needed to. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's gonna bring some energy. I was hoping it was gonna be a ship that was coming to come on out here and look, holla at a girl. You know what I mean? I'm ready. What pile did I get? I'm gonna wind up watching the whole thing. I know, but initially, just like going through it, at first I was kind of leaning towards the high priestess pile, but I also got a strong hit for the magician, so I knew I needed to watch both of them. And if I watch both of them, I'm gonna watch the third. So then I decided when she said let spirit pick the pile, and it picked pile one anyway, and I started listening. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Well, sometimes, Antoine, they really don't. I mean, if somebody's having a hard time in life and somebody else is coming giving them the energetic crutch of putting a label on what they're going through, if they don't know how to break free from it and they're still having a hard time, they may lean into that quite a bit. Again, I don't think it's, I think they just need to be made aware of it, that that's not really going to help their situation, because I don't know enough about the targeted person and all that other stuff, but I just refuse to lean into that for myself. We could all say we targeted to some degree because as chosen ones, star seeds, what have you, trust and believe. They've been watching you, tapping your phones and everything else since childhood, but I just refuse to let that get me down because they don't have the power to hold me back. They really don't. Not when you didn't know that you're working with your spirit team. It don't matter what they're trying to control you with. You have the power to break free from that. No, I'm not in Ghana, Ben Sultan. I probably won't make it to Ghana until 2020, probably either late next year or possibly even 2027. It just depends on how things unfold. I will eventually get there. That's where I intend to live eventually. But I got some stuff to do before I get there. The exams have been drawn to the 13th and 14th this month. Soon you'll be consistent here. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, I thought you were supposed to. Okay, they moved them. Well, hey, at least I gave you 2 more weeks to study. Because the last time I talked to you, I thought they was going to be on like the 27th or 28th, something like that. So yeah, you better ace them now. You got a whole 2 more weeks to or a whole another week to study. You better do good. That's cool. Yeah, and I kind of figured we had a really really good. Hey Douglas, welcome brother. Welcome in. We had such a good feeling from that Reiki session we did the last time we did one. I kind of figured maybe we'll do those occasionally, just set some intentions and just do a little healing for the collective. I'm more than happy to do that. Oh, yeah, yeah. And again, I guess I'm a little bit, try to be lenient in the beginning before I go in like scorched earth on them because I understand that most people at some point in their spiritual journey, they start out at a point of victim consciousness. They just do. Because truthfully, very often they truly have been victimized. But do you lean into that or do you rise above it? What's that song, the church song? They say a saint is just a, we fall down, but we get up. A saint is just a sinner who fell down, then got up. We've been victimized. You can either lean into that or you can say to hell with that. I'm not a victim anymore. I understand why it happened. It may have been part of my soul contract or whatever, but like Antoine said earlier, not today, Satan. No. And you have to make a decision to no longer be a victim. You may still be in a somewhat downward facing position, but you're on your way to your feet. You're no longer a victim. Yeah. Hey, Niana, welcome, darling. Welcome, welcome. Exactly. You have to know that you're loved and protected. I'll give you of an example just because I don't know. Like I said, that person, I can't, I want to address you properly. I don't want to keep saying that person. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, Mindy Walker. I don't know how I missed you. J Dale. That's you. Okay. J Dale 999. I could say honestly, I guarantee you, if I told you what was going on with me, Jay Dale, I could probably get somebody to say that same thing that you just said. I refuse to claim that because, like I said, not today, Satan. But I've had a frequency pinging through my head since 2018, and it's not tinnitus by itself because it changes frequency and intensity, and sometimes it shuts off. Like I said, it'll stop in one ear and start in the other, and sometimes it comes through both. Sometimes for 2.5, almost 3 years, I could not wear Bluetooth headphones or I would destroy one of them. Now, I know that's not a natural frequency. Tinnitus doesn't destroy Bluetooth headphones. Something or someone is jacking up my frequency. Now, I could say that the government is doing it, or I could acknowledge that as a star seed, my dormant DNA is coming online, and maybe, just maybe, my frequency is shifting because I'm evolving. See how much more empowering that is than to decide I'm a targeted individual? Yeah, I'm gonna still hear the noise, but I also know if it gets to where it's more than I can bear, when I ask the guys to tone it down a notch, I usually get some relief. That's another reason I know it's not just plain tinnitus. But I'm not gonna embrace being a targeted individual. No. You said it's so important to look down at the people worse off than you rather than looking up, comparing yourself to people who appear to be doing better than you. Yeah, because I mean, well, if you're looking up at the people that's doing better than you and not being jealous or hateful or feeling disempowered, it's okay to look up if you're seeing that that's goals. And if they did it, surely I can do it too. That's encouraging. But yeah, like you said, if you're just sitting there and looking, feeling victimized because you don't have this and they do, it doesn't help to look at people as looking up. Magazines and social media are toxic because they've created a completely unrealistic expectation for people. It's just like, well, the stuff that we go through here on the channel. These people they're constantly getting that dopamine hit and watching these fake images of perfection that when they see real people with real features, they feel completely comfortable clowning them for no reason. And that's just, I'm like, do y'all have mirrors in your house? You know what I'm saying? Amen to that story time. No matter how targeted you are, you may think you are, you're in no way as targeted as any child in Gaza is right here today. Ashe. So that should give you something 99 to kind of look at and start to see yourself in a different light. Empower yourself. Yeah, you in the right place though. You found us for a reason. Cause you can't stick around and mope around too long and here somebody gonna come and get you up out of that. Oh yeah, environment television is absolutely the king of toxicity. They call it tell lies to your vision. I wish to goodness I mentioned it before on this channel, but I wish I could find a documentary. Years ago, I saw a documentary about the history of television in this and it was so interesting because years ago when the TVs were big and weighed 400 pounds and all that other good stuff, and they had those transistors in them that looked like actual light bulb, little mini light bulbs, but they had like an array of transistors inside of them. And the way it's set up now, I'm not an electronics person, so I don't know all of how they did it and all of that, but they had the signal that was emitted in there requires what they call a flicker rate in order for you to see, like in the movies, if you look at movie reels, it does so many frames per second, and they had to choose a flicker rate for television as well. That's one of the reasons why, if you, years ago or even sometimes now before they went completely digital, if you would record a television with another recorder, when you look back at it, you could see like the little lines, wavy lines in it. They could have chosen any flicker rate they wanted, and they deliberately chose a flicker rate that induces theta waves in the brain to hypnotize people from day one. And it stayed that way up until they went completely digital. So, for the better part of a century, they knew that they were inducing a hypnotic state in people when they plunk them in front of the television. That's one of the reasons they used to call it the idiot box or the boob tube, because you really saw it profoundly in children. If you sat a child down in front of a television and come back 15, 20 minutes later, they literally be sitting there glassy eyed and slack mouth, hypnotizing them. All of the television spokespeople, the news anchors, and all of them were trained to speak with a certain vocal inflection and a certain tone and all that. No matter what part of the country they were from, they were trained to speak a certain way to give that uniform feeling of authority and believability and all that, programming and hypnotizing people. You said watches. See, your frequency is different too. Yeah, you stop watches. I tear up earbuds and you tear up watches. I hear you. Now I've actually the last couple of pairs that I've gotten it, but I don't wear them regularly. Now that is something I will say. I don't wear any ear because truthfully, in addition to them just shutting down, if I tried to wear earbuds or for a while I would wear them big earmuff like the studio style earbuds, but so much pressure would build up in my head that I literally have to just take them off my ears every few minutes to decompress because I feel like my head is going to explode if I try to listen to. And I don't have the music super loud or nothing. I can't, but it's just the frequency buildup. When I was working from home, I had this desk pushed against to where it was like right where I could, it was right up next to the window outside. And I guess the Wi Fi wires or something to the television ran across there. For a while, I didn't notice it so much for a while, but then for about a week or so, I couldn't even sit up all the way straight at my desk because when I did, a completely different tone was coming through. It was a solid, even humming tone, but it was loud and very invasive. When I lowered my head or stood up and got above that level in the house, it would be fine. But while I was sitting at my desk and actually sitting up completely straight, I could hear that thing cutting through my head like a laser. And I just wound up having to, like, when I got off work, I would unplug everything, shut everything all the way down, and get away from my desk as much as I could. I wasn't even able to read tarot as much during that time period that was happening because that was one of the reasons I actually moved the desk out of that corner because it was just like, nah. Oh, yeah. If people drop TV, games, and sports, things would change a lot, a lot. But unfortunately, even if they drop TV and games, because they've gotten to the place that we don't have landlines anymore, everybody uses cell phones, it's going to be very hard for most people to completely drop the addiction because I don't watch mainstream television, but I stay on YouTube. And I wish I could say everything I watched on YouTube was wholesome. Most of it is, probably about 75%. But if you go into short reels, you're going to wind up doom scrolling sooner or later. Oh, I don't doubt it, Dr. Strange Doom. You said radio and television were created by the occult lads who belong to lodges. I have no doubt in my head about that. Because truthfully, the main reason now they gave us entertainment and they let us know that, oh, we need to stay informed and we need to do all that. But one of the reasons you know it's a weapon, when they switched from analog to digital, the government spent how many billions of dollars to make sure that everybody could get digital programming to the point that they were sending out those little converter boxes and stuff. Since when do they care whether we get free television or not? Why should we have to do that? Especially knowing that they was heading into the internet age when everybody had to pay for services because it's a programming tool and they want to make sure it's a tool of control. So they got to make sure every house in America has one. Plus, that's the main vehicle up until the internet came along. That was the main avenue through which the commercial systems got their wares hawked out to you with all of their psychological programming in. You must buy this. Like you said, milk, it does a body good. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Can you hear me now? All of them ad campaigns and stuff to basically subliminally suggest to people what they got to spend all their money on. Oh yeah, Antoine. I firmly believe it was to intercept ascension. All of this stuff. They changed the music from 432 to 440. Same thing to keep you stuck. Fluoride in the water to keep your pineal gland all encapsulated. Oh, Paul, yeah, you said that 440 hertz, yeah. And the English language, they say that English is the hardest language to learn. They said most languages, especially like they call them the Romance languages, but in frequency, they're very circular and round. They said English, if you break it down in frequency, is so very harsh and all that it's, yeah, it's there is they dumb us down. And now they turn around and even change, like I said, they're changing the history, they're changing our language, they're censoring everything. And I heard something the other day and I didn't even realize it. Well, I remember when they took like spelling tests out of schools, but they said they stopped teaching kids how to read and write cursive now. And a girl made a very good point. She was like, and she probably heard it from somewhere, who knows, but she said it, she felt like the main reason that they did that was so that the next generations could not read the founding documents, because a lot of those older documents are in that old script and older English, and these kids can't spell, they can't half read. They done censored away most of the words that we would really need to know, that they would need to know to protect themselves, and they convinced them they need to give up their gun rights so they could take over. And people don't even understand gun rights was given to us to protect us from an unfair government. It was not about protecting ourselves in the street. It was about protecting ourselves from the government, and the government that convinced people that they need to get rid of them. The scalar waves are more active now. Yeah. And oh my goodness, the Schumann frequency been off the Richter. It's been bouncing around. I mean, it's been climbing since 2020, but the other week I was looking at something and it was like 53 on the Schumann frequency. I'm like, whoa. Corners do hold stagnant energy. I wasn't even directly in the corner though, Dr. Strange Doom. My desk, I mean, it's a corner desk, but the corner is rounded. But the way I was sitting, I was kind of in front of the window. But the where the sound was cutting through was coming in through the window. It wasn't even in the corner. But I got out of there anyway. It stopped after a few days. I don't notice it so much anymore, whatever was going on. Yeah. They do, bro, 100. Absolutely. That's why whoever it was that was having problems with entities, and I told them to go in after they smudged the house and everything and open their windows to take a little bit of salt, and everywhere that two walls or two anything forms a corner in the house, drop a little bit of salt in there. You're absolutely correct. Negative entities like corners. That's why Thoth advised in the Emerald Tablets that if you're going to travel in the astral, to travel in the circles and waves. Do not make straight line movements in the astral, because entities that are not for our highest good are also in the astral and will can easily attach to you if you travel in the straight lines in the astral. You have to travel in the curves and waves. You said you got off TV, Facebook, TikTok, except but stay on YT. And truthfully, I probably will stay on YT just because I call it University of YouTube. There's so much good information there. I just have to develop more discipline, especially now since I'm creating content here. I have to create more discipline for myself, set aside times to make sure I get off. Like I said, don't allow my learning periods to devolve into doom scrolling. I just need to stay out the short reels. That's what I need to do. And then I'd be all right. Because you think you're just going to watch a couple of things and then it wind up being, yeah, that part. Honestly, Dr. Strange Doom, people do. Back when I was dating, I used to get into it with folks because I haven't, like I said, I have a television. Oh, because I had kids. I had a television in the house, but we watched movies and like something. When I had satellite and stuff, they watched their kid programs. They could do like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and stuff like that to a degree, but I just I unplugged from mainstream television, and even now, I got my well. This isn't my house. This is my friend's house, but he got this big, I don't know, 55, 60 inch, whatever it is, television hanging up on the wall. He watches like ESPN all the time. Honestly, I think that's the only channel he ever watches is ESPN up on his. And I only watch YouTube on mine. Every once in a while, if I'm cleaning the house and get jazzy, I might turn on Pandora instead of YouTube. But I turn on meditation music in here and put it up on the thing. Or occasionally, if I want to watch an African movie or whatever, some movie or something on YouTube, I'll put it up on the big screen. But other than that, I generally don't even turn it on. I've been using it more, the television more now since I've been a content creator on YouTube, and like I said, I just use it for background music. I don't watch nothing on that thing. I don't even have like Netflix and stuff. I don't watch enough of anything. We got Amazon Prime, and between that and YouTube, it's still more TV than I can watch. I got probably 200 things in my watch later queue that I ain't got to yet, so I don't need to pay nobody for more TV. Oh shoot. A stray cat walked through your house at 2 a.m. twice. That's not random, that's ritual. She moved like a glyph from the spirit realm. Wow. That is crazy. How'd she get in? Some messengers wear fur in silence. You honor her passage as a sign. The unseen realm is watching and the house is smart. Yeah. Not only that, I mean, the feline distribution center system is a little crazy. She might be decided to rehome herself with you. Might want to be careful. The Leviathan is waking, and it's literally the biggest continent. Hey, Stephen, welcome. Honestly, J Dale, though, the things that are happening, and we talk about it a lot. I hope you'll stick around on this channel. Like I said, nobody finds this channel by accident, not even the trolls. They just don't know it yet. Um, but we talk a lot about some of the things that prophecy has talked about and the scriptures talk about and the ancient texts talk about, and we try to make sense of it and put it into a practical modern day application. um, it's a wonderful time to be alive. It is scary for those who don't know, and it's even a little bit scary and nerve-wracking for those who do know, because we don't know 100% for sure. We know that light is going to win, and that's all we really need to know, but it can be a little bit touch and go. But I really believe that we getting ready to some shit finna pop off. Let me put it that way. We finna see some real stuff finna pop off in a good way. Like I said, those that are tending their spirituality don't really have no reason to worry. We really don't. But it now, honestly, the thing that gets me, it is gonna require a strong continence, if you will, because it's going to be tough watching the rest of the world that chose to stay embroiled in the matrix, that just refused to wake up and trying to cling on to that nonsense. It's going to be very painful watching them lose their shit, because they're going to lose their shit. They're freaking out now. You know, you did a property search to bring the granted land for King George a third. The penmanship was beautiful. Oh wow, yeah. They used to put great pride in penmanship back in the day. Yeah. You say your cat is your shadow, your protect. Yeah, cats are super spiritual. That's why I said for Antoine. I mean, truthfully, she could be moving between the realms. It could be a spirit being moving between the realms. But if it is an actual flesh and blood with a heartbeat cat, she might be coming there to literally protect you and guide you with some energies and entities around you. They are super spiritual creatures. So if the Feline Distribution Center has decided that that's your cat, hey, just give her a fun name and hope she stick around. Yeah. Entities enter through corners. Yeah, and that's what he says. Stay out the corners. Stay off the straight lines. Travel through the curves and the waves if you want to stay with light beings, because there are darker energies that do hang around in them corners. Said corners remember what walls forget. I like that. What does it mean when you dream and you know that you're dreaming? One time you find that's a lucid dream, layered dream. Have you ever seen the movie? Well, was it in, not Intrepid? What was that movie with not Insidious? Don't watch that. That'll scare the shit out you. But the one with oh God, I'm trying to think. He was caught in a dream, within a dream. It was like an experiment. That was a really good movie. And I can't even think of the name of it now. But yeah, that's happened to me before. Like you dream and then you think you're waking up and you're still in the dream, and then you try to wake up and you're still in the dream. Yeah, those are kind of. I think the deepest I've gone in is 4 levels, but yeah. Hey, Gerlene, of course you can ask a question. When I was dating, why do the past people show up? Is that some law of attraction thing or something? And why does it happen so often? Yeah, it's a law of attraction thing. And honestly, you ain't gonna like it when I say this. Sometimes, I think quite often, if they're showing up in rapid succession once you start dating again, you're literally dating that same energy all over again. You've activated something, you triggered that energy, and they're going to fall out the woodwork. They're going to fall out the woodwork anyway. And honestly, if they keep doing that, do a cord removal. Don't just do a cutting, do a removal. Because once you're active again and that energy is active in you, it literally triggers them and they're going to come around. They do. They just really do. You're not imagining things. They really, really do. Even if they ain't even got no intention of doing right by you, they'll spin the block. Because you ever heard the phrase, if I can't have it, nobody else will? There are some people that are genuinely like that. They don't want you for life. They don't want to do right by you, but they want to know that your energy is there and available for them to feed off of whenever they want it. They will hold you in that weird friend zone. I told you I did a video about it called Let's Remain Friends. It's on one of my playlists. Please go watch that little series of videos, because I literally took myself through 20 years of unnecessary hell with 3 toxic exes and a toxic friend that wanted to stick around in my friend zone enemy. They like I say frenemies, and me being too nice allowed it to my detriment. Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Keep them fools out your energy. Hey, Dika, is the channel going into deep knowledge? We do from time to time. I'm not doing a whole lot tonight. The live streams, typically we just kind of freestyle here and talk about anything and everything. And we really freestyling tonight because at 10:30 I'm getting off of here because we have a full moon ceremony that we're going to do off the channel on another platform. You said the emerald tablets called you in your mind to find out what they are, and you found Billy Carson that way. That's awesome, Doctor Strange Doom. I I'm trying to think of how the first time. I don't even think the first time I was called to the emerald tablets. I don't think Billy Carson had written the compendium yet, and I'm not even sure I knew who he was yet at that point. It it was close though. I think it was around 2018 or so. 2017, 2018 was the first time I went through the emerald tablets. I had tried to listen to them years before that. In fact, I think I had listened, but I really didn't get it. The first off, the narration that I had listened to, the voice was really annoying, and I wasn't spiritually far enough along to get past the voice. So I kind of sort of heard it, probably fell asleep on it, went on about my business. It really wasn't until 2018, early 2019. But again, he published the compendium at some point in 2019, but I hadn't heard of it yet. And I'm not even sure it had been published yet, but it was kind of close in range to that time period. And then I listened to it again. And for a while, I was doing the sleeping with my head to the north and then turn around, flipping. I'll get, wake up in the morning and do the north south thing, and I was like going all in. But yeah, I think the tablets called people when, well, Thoth calls people to the tablets. I don't, yeah, that part when you're ready for them. Oh yeah, well, Brittany, you got kids, so I completely understand that. I like I said, but it's just literally two of us here in this house, and other than him coming in the house, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Or when he comes down to make his dinner, if he's in there, we might stop and chit chat for 4 or 5 minutes. Other than that, we are literally two ships to pass in the night. He leave to go to work at like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and come back in around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Do what he gonna do, get him something to eat, go upstairs, crash out. That's our. I mean, somebody else call it boring. I'm cool with it though. You know. Uh. Oh wow, Paul, that would be cool. Maybe one day you will when we've planned better. I didn't even plan like I needed to for this one. We surely can. You say you preparing for the pop off. Hey, Aylet, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, Miss Yates, that's what you have to do. You have to alchemize stuff for your benefit. Because other than that, if you don't learn to look at things differently, this world will. It's crazy. Yeah, you have to, and that's truthfully that's the role of the alchemist. First, we understand that things are done for us, not to us, so that we can go back and re-examine our lives and put them through a different context. I used to call it blessing my mess, but truthfully, there was another layer to it. I learned to bless the mess to release the anger and hurt from it. Like Gandhi said, I bless those who brought me pain, for they are my teachers. But then there was a deeper layer to it where not only I blessed the mess, that I started seeing the hand of spirit even in the painful things, that I was allowed to be set up for this because it taught me that, which basically prepared me to deal with this. That's going to also lead me to that over there. You know what I'm saying? I start seeing that it wasn't as lost or as desperate or as randomly undirected as I thought. It wasn't painful. It was a difficult path. Because guess what? When you hard headed and you just, especially if you're already on a raggedy trajectory, and then we get out there and we're gonna do our thing, and sometimes we gonna, what's that girl, oh, I can't think of her name. She's just a Christian content creator, but she always do the little videos with her and her angel and God, and in the end she say, I'm gonna see for myself. It's Ariel, Adrian something, I don't know. Can we act like we get to know each other so your ex comes back? Why would you want your ex to come back though, Dika? That's the part that I don't know. You said, where you from? Can we act like we get to know each other so your ex comes back? You always the same. As soon as you move on, she comes back and puts you right back in the trap. No, she don't put you right back in no trap. You put yourself right back in the trap because you so pee-whipped that you let her come back. Why you keep letting her come back, Dika? Tell the truth, shame the devil, bro. You know, you in the wrong. Inception, yeah. Because like I said, Insidious was wrong, but Inception is the right movie. I'm way behind on the notes, but I'm gonna catch up. But you know, Auntie over here will get all over that relationship stuff. Dika, you in the wrong place for that. We don't keep entertaining them nonsense, tragic, toxic exes. Again, I did enough of that for all of y'all combined. I got the T-shirt, I got the all of that, the T-shirt, the complimentary duffel bag, the trophy, and some more stuff. Oh Lord, Brittany, you got the you got the whole cat center. I didn't even see that. You say you've been in your house 15 years. Cats bring in Get missing. Oh Lord. Okay. Inception. Um, Robin, the WhatsApp. I've said WhatsApp because that's what I already had, but I think on WhatsApp you can do a group call, but it's audio only. So I think it's just going to be audio. If that doesn't work for everybody, maybe next time we'll set it up on Google Meet. I got Google Meet and I can do a link or whatever, but I had already sent out the links for WhatsApp when I got to digging around in the little WhatsApp administrator thing and realized I can't do video like that. It can only, the group call has to be audio only. You said the explain what I'm said about the removal and people coming back when you try to move on or weird friend zone. Okay. That out again. You're new to the channel, so like I said, the video that I did was called Let's Remain Friends. I think it's in the play. Let me see what that playlist is called so you can look for it. I might be able to hold on. Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to find what playlist it's on. Here we mean. Probably Modern Mystic Loved Ones, but let me double check here. Oh, Ancestor Intervention. I bet you it's on. Hold on. Yeah. The playlist that it's on is called Ancestor Intervention. And it's just a series of me talking, sitting on the back porch with things I saw in meditation, parts of my story and my life and all of that. But it was, in fact, obedience is better than sacrifice. I think touches on it. Let's remain friends goes into it. And then when the ancestors show up with Bactine and Band-Aids, I think kind of tops it off. I'm wearing the same shirt in all of those. So basically I just kind of chopped that video up into pieces. But yeah. And I've discussed it like some of my toxic exes and all of that in detail in some of those videos on there. But yeah, if you don't, and you ain't got to be sleeping with them, because I promise you, the ones that I dealt with, the newest one of my toxic exes that was hanging around in that zone had dumped me a decade ago. Wait a minute, more than a decade ago now. But when he came back on the scene in 2018, we dated for almost 2 years from 2008 to 9, I think. We broke up in 2010. He dumped me. Oh, we were living in a very, I mean, we probably lived about 10, 15 miles apart, but in the same general area. He dumped me over a phone call, didn't even wait to do it face to face, and went on, did whatever he was going to do, blah, blah, blah. And truthfully, after I got over my ego and pride being hurt by being dumped over a phone call, I was so glad. I never been so glad to be dumped in my life. I'm grateful that I didn't stay with that man because I never should have been with him to start with. Okay. Um, but then years later, when I'm further along in my spiritual journey, really, I mean, and I had gotten to the place he had asked me to go back and I explained to him why I wouldn't. And we got into that little weird friend zone thing, but for a long time it was just sporadic conversations. It wasn't really daily anything. But in 2018, right around the time where I'm starting to go through transformation, I'm starting to wake up, starting to begin to do a little work, but I still got all these toxic people around me. But I have begun working on the concepts of unconditional love and forgiveness. And I had a friend of mine that we had a really ugly parting of the ways, a female friend that I hadn't spoken to in about 3 years. And she reached out to me asking for forgiveness. And let me put it to you this way: as sweetness and light as I know how to be, the last time she had asked me for forgiveness, the only thing that I responded to her was "fuck you" and went on about my business. Because again, we all grown here. I ain't gonna get into the story of the way she did me, but it warranted that. Okay, she was not. She proved herself to not be a friend. But I forgave her because I was all in meditation and all of that, and I'm working on unconditional love, and spirit nudged me to forgive her, and I did, and we rocked out, and we remained friends up until very recently, and we didn't have no falling out this time. Well, she mad at me because she's one of them that live in victim consciousness. She's doing better than she ever has in life, partially because of our friendship, because she was always a whining and in victim consciousness and in a really, really toxic relationships and all the rest of that. And now she's broken free from that, and she's somewhat focused spiritually, making more money than she's ever made in her life, literally making over $100,000 a year and still crying to pull mouth by what she ain't got. And I just don't have the patience for that. And she started in on me a couple of weeks ago, or well, about a month ago now, with that. And I had to call her out on it. She got mad and she ain't talked to me since. So that one is gone. But this other dude, around the time that I allowed her back in my life, he called me, and he had literally he's been legally blind since his teenage years. He's a Stevens Johnson's patient, and his vision is greatly reduced. He could still work, and he could still see to some degree, but he can't drive a car. And some days he really has difficulty, but he has been struggling with his vision for decades. And when he called me in 2018, he had actually gone completely blind for about a week. And he called me when he was really at a low point because he needed my spiritual energy. And I didn't know that. I didn't know he was a vampire, but I let him back in on the friend zone. And he trauma dumped and this and that. And I got to listen to his exploits with all his toxic relationships. And I didn't care because I ain't want him back. But I didn't even realize how damaging that was to my psyche because I had several of them doing that. How you gonna call me and tell me all the stuff that's going on and you so upset about what's going on with your new wife? You married her? What I got to do with me? All of that good stuff. Hey, Kenny Rojas. But I really came to a head, truthfully, with my youngest child's father. He literally said to me out his mouth before I cut him completely out of our energy, because by our youngest, my child is grown. Our child is grown now, so there's no reason for us to still be friends. But he was like, "Please don't cut me out your life. I need your energy in my life." He said them exact words out his mouth, and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even see it. But yeah, no, you gotta go, bro. You gotta go. Love you all day, like love you like a fat kid love cake. I'm out. I love you from across town. And I started doing a series of spiritual baths, cord removals, all of that. And they do every now and then they rally around and try to call me from, well, they don't even can't even call me no more because I changed my phone number, but they'll reach out in messenger from fake accounts and that kind of stuff. But ooh, Douglas, in a dream, a snake bites you in your left hand. It scared you and you woke up. That could be bad or good. Most likely, unless you're seriously programmed and tapped in to understand the spiritual symbolism of snakes, most likely in showing up in a dream from your regularly conditioned programmed snakes, it is enemies. Now, obviously, probably not a fatal wound because it's in your left hand. But if I were you, I would type that in Google. dream meaning of a snake biting you in your left hand, and see what kind of interpretation you will probably be led to a dream interpretation site that might give you further insight on it. You say you know that we're right, but with the years, it's hard for you to choose yourself instead of her because you saw yourself in her like the man you want to be. You know, definitely need to watch that video. You've been depressed since a week. Okay. And I'm going to say this to you. You saw yourself in her like the man you want to be, but she's not supporting the man you want to be. She running in and out like a darn revolving door, taking advantage of you. You have to love yourself and know that you deserve better than that. Don't keep letting her come back. If somebody ain't making you their priority, why in the hell would you make yourself their option? You deserve better, because not only are you showing a lack of self-respect, now you dealing with all her demons and all the dudes that's jumping up and down on her whenever you ain't around. And please don't be naive enough to think that they're not. You don't need that kind of energy in your life. You'll never get to be the man that you think you saw in her. Get to be the man that you thought you saw in her. See it for yourself and go reach for that, and find you a queen who will support that in you. Because here's the thing, and I'm not trying to come down on you. I know you said you've been depressed, but I want you help. Maybe this will help you understand something. Wherever you was at energetically when you manifested her, you can only manifest what you are, what you're a vibrational match to. So the fact that she's not faithful, she's not loyal, and she's not devoted, because she ain't none of them things if she's bouncing in and out of your life repeatedly. I don't know nothing about her, but I can say those three things. She is not faithful, loyal, or devoted to you. So you attracted that to you based on where you are in your energy. You need to heal and raise your vibration to where that kind of raggedy energy vibrates away from you, and you can attract a true queen who will elevate you to that image that you see for yourself, and she'll see in you and all the rest of that. If you want a queen, you got to become a king. If you want a goddess, you got to become a god. So sorry, there's just no shortcuts to that. Or you're going to keep manifesting that same raggedy energy. Even if you got over her and went and got somebody else, if you don't tend to your energy and figure out what it was that allowed you to manifest that in your life, and what it was that made it so hard to walk away from that, or have enough self-respect in you for yourself to know you deserve better than that, unless or until you understand that part, you'll keep manifesting that same nonsense over and over again, different faces, different places, but it'll be the same raggedy energy. Why do you think it is some people wind up in serial relationships? They might have 4 or 5 different people. They bounce from relationship to relationship, and every single one of them people cheat on them. Why do you think that is? Because they done messed around and attracted the energy of a cheater. So they'll get rid of one cheater because they cheated, and turn around and the next person will cheat too, and the next person will cheat too, and the next person will cheat too. Some people attract the energy of a charlatan, somebody that'll turn around and bankrupt them and write bad checks. Some people, sad to say, and people don't want to hear this, will attract the energy of a physical abuser. Everybody don't put up with that stuff, but there are some people, no matter how many relationships they go through, they keep seeing them same patterns over and over and over again, even in different people. That's not, I mean, yeah, it's a shame that the people that they get with act like that, but the people need to understand that the reason those people act like that is because they're attracting those low vibrational people that act like that. Everybody on the planet don't act like that. But if you keep inviting them in and keep accepting that kind of low energy behavior, they go run through you like water, and that's what you're going to have. Okay, thank you for that explanation about the snake bite, Antoine. I appreciate that. See, share all of them on the block list for sure. Trying to see what if I can relate the snake to Kundalini energy. Yeah, it can be that too. I don't know. I wasn't trying to. Uh, I was. I don't know why Dika was kicked out because I was responding to his question. Yeah, we do tend to date people who act ultimately, in some aspects, like people say that women marry or date their father, and men tend to marry or date their mother, and sometimes, like I say, even if it's uncomfortable, we still tend to do that because it's familiar energy, and if you don't bother to understand that and make a choice as to whether you genuinely are happy with that and want that energy in your life or not, you can still be upset and have a very traumatic relationship with your parents and still turn around and manifest a partner that's exactly like that and be miserable. A lot of people do that. I'm not sure why Dika was kicked out because I didn't do it. Um, oh, it was for 5 minutes. I'm hoping it was by accident, Antoine, because I was answering a question for him. Now that Jay the rapper person, I can understand why that one was hidden because honestly, I may just go ahead and make them permanently disappear. I don't know. No, I think it was think it was an accident, Dika. They were trying to get rid of somebody else, and I think they may have tapped the wrong thing. But were you able to hear me when you were timed out? When what I was saying? Yeah, he said he didn't mean to. Yeah, he was trying to get Jay the rapper. Jay the rapper is a returning troll that gets real disrespectful and just real ugly. Okay, I'm glad to know that because I've been meaning to ask if people could, if they chose to stay even when they're timed out, whether or not they could still hear what was going on. That's cool. So that's good. At least we know that. And I'm sorry that you got that Jay the rapper caused you to get an accidental kicked out. And we stopped slowing we started slowing our roll on kicking people out, but it was him and somebody else uh yesterday that was just so disrespectful. They just had to go. Oh, you welcome, my love. You welcome. Yeah. Because I get it. And again, I'm not saying it from no haughty place like you should know better. I'm not wagging a finger at you. I'm telling you, been there, done that, got a t shirt and a trophy. So I'm telling you, I'm long enough in the tooth, as they say, to understand how and why that kind of stuff can happen. And it will wear on your self esteem and all of those sorts of things. And we love them. I mean, I get it. Toxic love is still love and it still hurts. We're so traumatized, most of us, by dysfunctional family scenarios and the stuff that happens to us in school and the stuff that happens, all of that stuff. We get so traumatized by life that we will stick around in the uncomfortable familiar just because it's familiar. And of course, a good fair share of them narcissists truthfully kind of sort of demand that we continue to allow them to, you like I say, we continue to allow them to stick around and turnstile us like they want to and treat us any old kind of way, and they try to tell us that it's our obligation to accept that. I got a friend like that right now. I messed around. I blocked them, and I forgot. I don't even remember how or why they got unblocked. But they left me a long behind letter to let me know. Oh, they messed around. I blocked them in an app, and then they turned around and texted me to my phone number. So I unblocked them and responded to it. But genuinely, like I done told this person different ways why I'm done with the friendship. This ain't just our first falling out. It's like literally, this is about the fifth or sixth chance I've given him, and I'm just not willing to do that anymore. So I'm ending the friendship. And he sent me a long diatribe, got nasty, and some more stuff as to all the reasons why I was wrong, and I think I'm better than him, and this and that, and all this stuff to try to make me feel bad because I don't want this fool in my life no more. They do that stuff because they don't know no better. Bronx, you can get up out of here. We're going to block you all day. I don't care if I don't have but 2 subscribers or 2 people in the chat room. Long as it ain't you, we good. You're not welcome here. I don't have to calm down with nothing. I've already been shadow banned, and I'll stay shadow banned rather than allow jackasses up in here with nonsense. I ain't making no money doing this anyway, so what I care. They get me coming in your house telling you how you got to do. Hey, bro, 100. Yeah. It is. Of course it is. That's Brooklyn because he came back as Brooklyn, then Brooklyn. Now he Brook fam. Duh, ain't even got no imagination. But my thing is, how miserable of a jackass of a human being do you have to really be to keep coming back somewhere where you ain't wanted and you claim you don't want to be? He don't have nothing positive to say in here, nothing to lend to the conversation. All of the mods done said they sick to death of him and don't want him in here. So literally a jury of his peers, he in here to try to interrupt me and cause whatever aggravation to me. But I ain't put my hand on the remove button yet. He keeps getting removed by other viewers who do not want him in here, and yet his ignorant behind that don't have no life keep popping himself back up in here just to be hateful and telling somebody what they got to allow in their room. They ain't got to allow nothing. You said the girl really gave you every lie, probably just for you to think good of her and don't see the bad. She vampired, obviously. She used you every time you give her the same energy back. She's spamming and acting lovely. Get that out your life. Why do you think you, like I said, why would you even want a trifling behind female like that? Are you that pee whipped? I'm not trying to be funny, but I got to come with it now. It's women all over the planet. And honestly, when you got that kind of energy in your life, I don't encourage you to get rid of that one and get another one. You need to go into a period of celibacy, clear your energy so your vibration can rise and you can stop attracting worthless 304s, because that's what it sounds like. You attracting garbage, which means your energy right now, I'm sorry, but your energy is garbage. If you're attracting garbage, you can only attract what you're a vibrational match to. So fix your energy before you get out there with another woman. And again, I'm not being judgmental, honey. I've been there, done that. You gotta do you, because when we first wake up in the matrix, we come through some really crazy karmic cycles. Sometimes we're dropped off in narcissistic parents and domestic violence and abuse, and we done been through all kinds of stuff. So again, there's no judgment anywhere at all. But When you got them nasty energy signatures on you and you get out there thinking that people are just people and I just want something to love, I just want somebody to love, and it really don't matter, and you can't judge a book by its cover, and everybody is all the same, and Pollyanna, it doesn't matter, and yeah, no, nope, it do matter. Trust me, it matter. You gotta ditch the 304s. You do. And it's a lot of them out there. It's an epidemic of them. I swear to goodness, it's an epidemic of them. It's way more trifling women than it is men on this planet. I promise you. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you now. I don't know how old you are, and truthfully, it don't even matter. If you want to tell me, you can. If you don't, it don't matter. The first 3 months of a celibacy cycle are the hardest. If you can get through the 3 months, you got it. After that, it won't even matter, however long you choose to go. But you've got to get that energy out your system. And the only way to do that is through celibacy. So I don't care if you think you meet the Madonna, not the one on stage wiggling her old wrinkled butt. I'm talking about the actual mother of Christ, whoever she is. If she can't wait 3 to 6 months so that you can truly start getting your head together, yeah, zip your pants up and just put it away for at least that long. And I ain't talking about dry spell. There's a difference in the energy of a thirsty dry spell and the energy of an actual choice for celibacy. Choose celibacy for yourself to elevate your frequency, brother. 20 months, yeah. And I've done several stints of celibacy before, and like warming up to, I did like 20, I think it was 21 months. Then the next one was like 23 months. Right now, I'm working on 5 years. 5 years. Now, to be fair, I'm physically abstinent. I'm not completely celibate because of my partner. Like I said, we after that telepathic thing got together, we play in the astral and all of that. But again, it took time to get to that point. There was a serious intention of celibacy for a while. You were celibacy for close to 8 months before you even tried to date. That's good, or close to 8 years. Yeah, all you can do is keep going. Yeah. You've been celibate for 3 years, Miss Yates. Awesome. And you're from Austria? Okay, Dika. That's awesome. You're 25. Oh, that's a rough time because you are at your peak. I get it. I understand. But, bruh, I'm telling you, do yourself a favor. It ain't going to go away. You trust me. It do have an expiration date on it, but you could go a couple years and you'll still be close enough to your prime that you're not missing anything. But what you will do by doing that is allow yourself a reset so that once you do get that next one, you'll enjoy it so much more. Even the sex will be much better and more incredible than what you even thought, because your energy will have shifted and you'll have a more compatible partner. 8 years, Paul, yeah. Ooh, that's a long time. But hey, like I say, I'm on 5. I'm barking right up the door, so you might be desert dry. Okay, well, guess what? No, also here's another one of these fools that come in here. He giving horrible advice. And you know what? He'll be better off to stay desert dry, and so will a female, rather than to waste their energy on raggedy Rudy poop people. If you want a god, you gotta be a goddess. If you want a queen, you gotta be a king. Period. You say you enter so much into knowledge, frequency, self boundaries, learned about dark manipulation to defend yourself, prana, all types of mystic stuff, mystery schools. Deep down, you know why you faced her. Yeah, she's a karmic lesson, and you chose to fail by indulging in what you knew was a karmic lesson. You let a succubus in your life. Now I'm gonna get on you, cause you know better. If you telling me all of that, you knew better. You just decided that you a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So you're gonna just take what's available to you. You know better, Dika. Come on now. Exactly. And he better learn the lesson because it's gonna keep repeating until he do. We could be you 25 now. We could be having the same conversation when you're 58 years old if you keep messing with trifling women and never bother to learn the lesson. Trust me, I done seen some sitting at the club and all the rest of that. Them old men sitting at the bar trying to live in the glory days about what they used to do and what they could used to pull. They're sad lots. Don't be that way, Dika. Hey, no white top coat. How are you? I'm doing good. Yeah, you know, you already know, and that's why Spirit sent you here so the aunties could get in your butt. No, you gonna cut that out and put that lady where she at and leave her over there. And I don't like calling people 304s, but from what you done told me, that's what it sounds like it is. But even if she was the sweetest person in the world to somebody else, she ain't for you, and you're not a spiritual newbie. You're far enough down this rabbit hole that you know what she is. So you're just choosing to be weak willed and weak minded for the sake of temporary physical pleasure. No, it's not worth it. You're shortchanging yourself in the long run. You really are. Right. Yeah, it's hard at 25, but it's not impossible. Look at all the men that become monks at 25. I'm glad you feeling the love because we love you too, brother. That's why I say I wouldn't even come at you like that if I didn't know you know better. But again, I set a powerful intention for this channel, and we are family up in here. That's why we don't tolerate them fools when they come knocking and acting stupid because we are on a path of ascension here. We are warriors of light up in here, and you in the right place. Yeah, I do believe in twin flames. I am a twin. Said Japan is coming out with those robots that you can buy for about 2,500 bucks. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Because honestly, the way they playing with AI, that's a whole nother thing. You don't want to start interfacing your sexual energy out to AI. You don't want to. But yeah, bro, 100. I do believe in twin flames, but I also understand that there's not nearly as many twins out there, or they're out there, but there's not as many twins as people think there are. Before I even understood, because I didn't hear about twin flames and then just try to make myself fit into that role, I was starting to have some really mystical and spiritual experiences with my counterpart and was being drawn to tarot. And then one day I was drawn into a twin flame forum, and I started listening, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like what we were going through and what we got going on and blah blah blah. And I don't even listen to her no more, but the one that really helped me understand it, it was a beautiful reading by I think it's Sacred Phoenix. And she was talking about how like sometimes the female will awaken and begin to ascend first, and then she catalyzes growth in in the male, that literally he's like a sleeping spiritual giant, but he's like a sleeping baby at first, and then he awakens and do his thing. And I really came to understanding, the more I started really researching and doing some stuff, like doing some research around the twin flame phenomena, I realized that we are true mirroring twins. Like even down to we're on completely different continents, different age gap, everything, raised in different religions and all of that. But the karmic cycles that we're closing are exactly the same. We both became single parents, both like I said, raising he got kids, but no, he got kids, like had them since birth, got kids. Same, with parent exes really ain't inputting no input at all in them, just really all the way doing single parenthood, got toxic family dynamic and all of like in lockstep, side by side, just things lining up that was so much the same. It was goosebumpy for real. Hey Valerie, welcome, welcome. A robot may not make you happy, but what about two? Boy, bye. Oh, men always overestimate. Well, again, if you want to waste your money like that, you go right ahead. Should you take the birth chart seriously when dating? It depends. Honestly, I would at least look at it. I'm not saying it's a hard, fast rule, but there really is something to astrology more than a lot of people want to acknowledge, and it can possibly give you some insights. Now, there's certain signs I just won't fool with. Period. But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? But it can help you understand that person. I'm not saying that you got to take everything that a birth chart or an astrologer tells you to be a hard, fast rule, but it definitely it can't hurt to consider it, especially if you're getting serious about the person. I'm not sure, Miss Yates. I don't know how I feel about that astral location thing because, truthfully, we could ration that wherever we're born in the world is set up by cosmic design, by divine arrangement and appointment. So they can sit there and say that we're in the wrong space, but how can we be? Because that's where we was born. We were born to the parents that we was. All of that, whether it's comfortable or whether it's dysfunctional, it's still we were born where we was born. Period. Um, Now, I do believe we are influenced with locations because there have been several places that I've had a desire to move and several places that I've actually moved to over the years. That when I looked at them later on, the more spiritually aligned I got, I found out that there was a lot of spiritual significance to why I moved there and when. Like, for example, I was born and raised in Florida, in North Florida, but I ended up in Sarasota, and I love it. The way it feels, I I love that place. Well, that's the location of Stargate 3. I was thinking about going to Belize. I think that's Stargate. It's one of the Stargates. When I was talking about going to Africa for years ago, there's another Stargate over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been drawn to certain places, even though I couldn't always get there. I was drawn to them for a reason. So I don't know. You did an astro map today for fun. It said you should be in Canada or Russia. Oh my God. That's a little close. I mean, a little cold. Say Neela got a spiritual spanking. Uh oh. He said he asked for his birthday. He didn't respond. You did. You searched her chart, planet transition. You remember reading that she had the potential of cheating, and you knew your higher self knew she always kept options in the backhand. Yeah, you have to get meditation more, but for some reason you feel called to live overseas. Yeah, same. Me too. I just, like I said, got to get my money right and situation right, but I'm gonna get up out of here. And it ain't that I'm one of them that hate the U.S. or anything. I'll never give up my U.S. citizenship, but I've just been called to get up out of here now. Stargates are basically kind of portals that have been put in place for their planetary use. Like I said, it's not typically most humans don't typically use them, but other terrestrial beings do. Oh, you hate the heat. Maybe you need to be. Girl, it's like I said, Canada and Russia, that's cold as it can get. Goodness. Well, guess what? I don't care because I'm getting ready to get up off of here. Talking about you again, this is a hateful person that absolutely has no life, but I'm not even going to waste getting rid of you on it. We don't even care because we're getting off of here now. Those of you who will be joining us in the live, you ain't even had to go there, Brittany, because we leaving. We on our way. You can tap the coffee link if you'd like to. On the about page of the channel, there is a coffee link, coff.ee/modern mystic messages. You can donate there if you like to. You can also, if you like to, Dika, we will be doing a full moon meditation this evening. And if you'd like to, you can email me at modernmysticmessages@gmail.com and I'll send you the link as to how to get in there. but we will be going live with that no later than 11:30. I'm gonna try to get in the room by 11:15, but I've got to check the email and get some things prepared for that, and then do the burn ceremony and all. But we'll be around 11:15. We'll be starting to gather in the link that where I'm gonna send you if you want to join. Okay. The email is modernmysticmessages@gmail.com, Gerline. And Brook Law and Ribbit and all Red Rob and all of them, you don't even need to bother emailing me because I'm definitely going to delete it and block you as soon as I figure out it's you. You're not invited into that. We will not have that nasty energy up in that gathering. So go somewhere and heal before you try to come in here. Everybody's talking about how calm it is, how peaceful it is. We are love and light here. We're not about foolishness. So even though you're blocked, I know you can hear me. You're not coming in that meeting. Yeah, my email is on my bio page as well as the coffee link to donate if you'd like. Yeah. Basically, a lot of folks under the full moon do manifestation rituals. The one we're doing tonight is focused on releasing the things that do not serve us. What is we'd like to release to the full moon energies today and tomorrow? We're in the energies of not only the full blood moon, but there was a full eclipse happening throughout the world a little bit earlier today. And eclipse energies magnify the power of the full moon exponentially. So we're doing a releasing ritual and a manifestation ritual for what we'd like to bring in. And then I'll be burning some ancestor money on behalf of those that are wanting to enter into the group. And we're just doing it together because, like I said, we're two or more gathered in my name kind of thing. It's like exponentially, we're going to be focused together. Quantum energy is what it is. So those of us who chose to gather that way know and understand that we can focus our intentions and band together to do that. And then after we've done the releasing and the calling in, I made a playlist that has a guided meditation on it to help us kind of release some of those energies with the full moon. And we will all be doing the guided meditation at the same time in our different places on the planet. Let me see. Yeah, we're manifesting in this high energy, manifesting money, love, health, whatever it is that you need. Yeah, and that's the for sure, Dika. Even if you don't want to join the group per se, if you'd like to have your intentions and energy included in the meeting, you can email me as long as I get your email before 11 o'clock, so that I can. Because I'm not gonna be able to stay in my email and check, and I still got some things that I got to do to prepare for it. But I will check my email before I go open the session in WhatsApp. But yeah, if you email me, I'll send you the link for the WhatsApp group. And then, like I said, the Buy Me a Coffee link is already on the channel. Understood. Yeah, you don't have to join in, but certainly you can send the email for the next time. We probably will be doing something on the new moon. And then again, I don't think we may or may not do anything because there's the 999 portal. We can do our individual stuff, but then for the Comet Pass, and we'll be doing that too. Thank you, Valerie. Yeah, we do. We try to keep it chill up in here. We got them three clowns that kept coming up in here. Honestly, if they keep showing up long enough, maybe one of these days love will take over and they'll stop acting so silly. I don't know why. They're adult people. I'm hoping that they're adults, but they don't have nothing better to do with their life than to try to bring in disruption. And I don't understand that at all. Because we ain't bothering nobody. You know what I mean? Why would they single me out? Like I say, it's a small channel. They even understand how YouTube works because he knows I've been shadow banned. I got 3,000 subscribers, but there's only 23 people in my live stream. So he knows I've been shadow banned. So that means he's truly a predator that seeks out people that are already struggling on YouTube and then show up and heckle them and cause them more problems. How hateful do you have to be to do that to somebody? Just because. And it's not just one, it's three of them. You can do your personal burning, truthfully, if you want to do it now beforehand, because like I said, when we get off of here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my stuff together, and I'll turn on my camera and do like a quick invocation and the burning and all of that. Once I check the email and get all that stuff together, I'll go ahead and do it on camera, and then if I can get it all done by 11:15, you'll see me in the room. If not, I should for sure be done by 11:30. And I will come in and we'll just do the guided meditation together. And truthfully, I guess we could just check in with each other. Honestly, come to think of it, Brittany's doing the Baileys. I'm doing the other burn. I'm going to film the burn and post it there in the room. Truthfully, once we just all check in on the group call, I don't even know how the sound effects would work on that. We could just kind of decide, okay, we're gonna go in and we're gonna start the meditation, because I included it in the playlist. We don't even have to stay on the call necessarily for that. It's just kind of syncing when we're gonna start it, so that we're all kind of in that energy together. We can do that, yeah. And then, like I said, you can either do it your personal burning before the WhatsApp or after. It doesn't matter. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here so I can get rolling with that. And those that will be joining us in WhatsApp, I'll see you over there. Like I said, hopefully by 11:15, if not by 11:30 for sure. If you haven't sent your email yet, go ahead and email me with your intentions, what you're releasing and what you're calling in, and try to make sure that I can get that before 11 o'clock so that I can, or within the next 20 minutes, so that I can go ahead and put them on the individual sheets of paper that we're going to be using to burn for. Okay. Much love to all of you. Peace and blessings. Once again, happy new moon to you. Happy eclipse energy. That's going to be rocking out. We're going to be living in that eclipse energy for the next few weeks, y'all. So I'm looking forward to good things. Thank you for sharing this with me tonight. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you again. Peace and blessings to you. Namaste.